All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to 1851 Franchise. My name is Luca, and today I'm here with Ron Sacco of the Franchise Consulting Company. Ron, how are you?
Good, Luca. Thanks for asking.
Great. We can I guess maybe before we jump in here, do you want to give a quick intro on you and your background?
Sure. So, name's Ron Sacco. I've been in franchising for over roughly 25 years or so. I've been a franchisor twice, once in mobile shredding and once in home healthcare. That was back from 1997 all the way through 2011. 2011, I kind of jumped on the other side of the fence to franchise consulting, and have been doing such since. And I think about from 2011 to 2018, I had my company Fran Frog. In 2017 or 18, I joined Nick Neonakis and the Franchise Consulting Company, which was a very good decision for me. A great group of people, got a lot of excellent inventory in a lot of great concepts in our inventory, and met a lot of great people through that journey.
Nice. Very cool. All right. So our first question here, what would you say makes you successful as a franchise broker?
The first thing I think would make me successful and why I've been doing it so long is I treat people very, I would say diplomatically, number one, but number two, I treat them as if it was my money, and making sure that they're as successful as they possibly could be, based on the criteria of what they're looking for in a franchise. So there's all sorts of different investors that come to me, that come from first-time business buyers to transition people, come from corporate America to franchise franchise investors that are diversifying and have multiple franchises. So they're all treated differently, but I would say that what makes me successful, I pretty much understand the concepts and research them every single day in our inventory, and really know what works from a level of a very low investment to a higher investment with a slower return, but maybe a brick and mortar or a built-in demand. But studying the concepts, I think, is extremely important from a consulting side, understanding who the person is, where they are from a territory perspective in the market, understanding a lot about them, and learning about them throughout the years. I think that's what probably makes me pretty successful. And I just don't drop a candidate after they purchase a franchise as well. We still remain friends, and we do quarterly reviews. We talk about things that are happening with their business. How can we improve? I would say that's a couple of boxes that I would check.
Nice. Well said. You mentioned working with first-time prospects. What advice do you have for people wanting to become a franchise owner for the first time?
I would always say that be prepared for battle. It's nothing's easy. Nothing is a get rich quick scheme, at least for the concepts that we have in our inventory. However, by being in a franchise model and starting with somebody who's successful in, let's say, a particular concept, they have that business plan and that playbook to follow. As long as you follow that playbook, put the time, the money, and the persistence and consistency into that business, you should be very successful. And I would always advise them to stick to that playbook and invest the time and the effort and the money into the business.
Yeah, definitely. On the franchisor side of the equation, what advice do you have for franchisors who are maybe wanting your help on awarding more franchisees?
Well, from a franchisor perspective, the ones that I typically deal with that are very successful, I tend to gravitate towards franchisors that have multiple units in operation in their FDD, a very good item 19, which showing real good profits, that they have excellent funds in the bank and for future growth of additional franchisees. For the franchisor to get guys like me to get more candidates for them, it's all dependent on the candidate for sure. It's dependent on the concept, but there's most of the time franchisors that have, I would say, multiple concepts in their bucket. That's always a good thing for a franchisor that has a development team, like maybe a Franchise Fastlane or a Brand One, or um, like Exponential Fitness, somebody like that has multiple concepts that the candidate can understand that franchisor has a lot of experience, plus they have multiple plays and multiple concepts. So that franchisor, I would always recommend using a excellent development team to get more candidates through their network.
Right. Yeah. Building off that, the next question we had here was, do you have any tips for how franchisors can better communicate with you or brokers like you?
I'll use Franchise Fastlane as an example because they're probably one of the top, I would say, development teams in the country. They have it's called frickin' Fastlane. It's something crazy that Ryan came up with, or Carrie. But it's a great technology system that at any time I can see where the candidate is in the process of going through the concept review, understanding where that candidate is from a technology perspective, but also getting feedback from that developer to really understand where the candidate is, where they're going, doing a litmus test check between a frickin' frack basis. That's usually a good sign of a good communication skill between the franchisor and the consultant.
Right. Yeah, definitely. The last question we have here is a little more broad, but I'm interested to hear your answer. What would you say winning looks like for you as a broker?
For winning for me is the same thing as a franchisee, as I gave you my comments before. It's consistency and persistence. We are in a business in consulting that has changed dramatically in the last, I would say, 10 years, where there's lots of franchise consultants. Not some are excellent and have franchise experience. So it's hard to win, but if you are consistent and you're true to yourself and your candidates and clients, that passion passes through to the candidate, and they understand you're there for them and try to helping them. I think that's what winning looks like for me.
Nice. All right. That was great. Thank you so much, Ron, for chatting today. This was great. I appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Definitely.